Okay, well I accidentally cut the camera off, so I guess I'm doing two videos. But remember this here, this little bitty hole here. Remember that. I'm going to set this camera up, or my phone up, so y'all can see what exactly I'm doing. Okay. Alright. This is a lifter spring. Okay. You're looking at your right side plate like this. You have your stud here. You want to set it on just like that. Alright. Now, your lifter, get this back in its little holes. Slip the lifter down in. Then you have to put it back on its stud. Okay, so that's how it goes. Now, right here, it's a little groove where the spring goes. That's how it sits. The long part of the spring sits right on top of that. Alright, now, whenever I put the spring back on here, the trigger spring, the only way I figured out how to do it and be able to hold it would be, I take my tab that it goes on, which it actually goes on just like this. Just like that. Push the spring down, slip it on, and then the edges of this fit back into the side plates. Now, the only way I figured out how to do that was to get this on there by pushing it down and past that little hole, where that little hole is, I take a toothpick and I break it off. Then it holds this where it should be. Then I can put my side plates back on, and then I can just pull the toothpick back out. And I'm going to try and do this. You probably won't be able to see it very well, but I'm going to try and do this on camera. Okay. Now, I almost lost this tab about 5 times yesterday until I figured out the whole toothpick method, so hope that helped y'all out. Alright, I might have to take this stuff back off. It's going to get a little crazy. Whoops. Hang on. Alright, once I get this back on, I'll start the video again. Okay. Now, got my little piece of toothpick stuck in there. That little hole. And I have a little tab stuck in the side plate. Everything on there like it should be. Now, all I'm going to do, let me see. Oh yeah, got to put your little plastic piece back on, because if you don't, you're going to take it back apart. So, actually, yeah, that's right. Goes just like this. Now, pick these two pieces up, line up all the holes, and set it back down on top. Now, comes the part of putting the little rings back on. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay. Now that I have the little rings put back on, my next goal is going to be to take this spring here, this lifter spring, I'm going to pull it down and I'm going to put it underneath the lifter. The lifter is right here, so it lifts the bullet up. This end of the spring needs to go right under it. It just rides in this little groove there. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, Got a light on now. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. Let's see here. See how that spring rides in the groove right there. And it also lifts, it goes underneath the lifter. That's what, you know, gives it its lift. Now, last thing I want to do is, whenever I took it apart, let me find it. Must be on the other side. Yeah, there we go, right there. You have a little spring right here. See right there? It needs to be hooked back onto the stud right there. This little spring here. So I'm going to hook it back on the stud. Okay. Now, the spring's hooked back up. The action's back together like it should be. All you got to do is put it back together. See if I can do this one-handed. Alright. All you do, take it, push it just like that. Now these holes have to line back up. Just like that. You have to push that plastic stud back through. Just like that. It's back in there. Now, all you have to do is put it back on your stock. Now, I didn't take the receiver out. Pretty simple. Just take a screwdriver, pry it back a little bit, lift up, pull this tab out, and just pull it out. You have a spring, and you have a stud in there. That's it. So, or a guide rod, I guess that's what you call it. But, all you do is put it back on your stock, and you're good to go. So if you ever need to replace any parts, that's how you do it. Sorry this wasn't the best video in the world, but maybe it'll help somebody out there. Oh yeah, don't forget your little toothpick. Pull that out whenever you're done. Alright, well thanks for watching the video.